All right. So in just a few minutes, we're going to get him in here. I want to hear the biggest, loudest, most exciting shouts from all of Sharonville so that they can hear us and, you know, Blue Ash over there, Evildale down there, Springdale over there, all right? Because we know what is Connor Curran's hometown is the city of what? All right, and we are so excited to have this homegrown athlete here coming back with the greatest accomplishment that he can have. So I want to, this is the hype time to get you excited, to get you ready, to get you up on your feet. We're going to have a good time with him for a little bit. I know we've got some folks here that want to say some great things about him. We're going to do a little bit of a question and answer a little later. We got some pretty awesome surprises for him as well to honor him here in the city of Sharonville. So let's get ready. Let's get some of that music playing here to get you continue into the hype mood. And in just a couple minutes, we're going to introduce Connor, all right? All right.
With a dream, my cardigan. Welcome to the land of fame excess. Am I gonna fit in? Jumped in the cab, here I am for the first time. Look to my right and I see the Hollywood sign. This is all so crazy. Everybody seems so famous. My tummy's turning and I'm feeling kinda homesick. Too much pressure and I'm nervous. That's when the taxi man turned on the radio and a Jay-Z song was on. And the Jay-Z song was on. And the Jay-Z song was on. So I put my hands up to play my song. The butterflies fly away. Nodding my head like yeah. Moving my hips like yeah. Got my hands up to play my song. We know I'm gonna be okay. Yeah. It's a party in the USA. Yeah. It's a party in the USA.
All right, everybody, are we ready?
Get to the club and
All right, let's get up on our feet, everyone, because it is time to welcome home Olympic gold medalist Connor Curran.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me and hosting this event for me. It means the world that you guys all came out in support of me. I would like to give a huge thanks to the city of Sharonville for hosting this event and bringing everyone together. This is really amazing. I would also like to thank my family for being here and supporting me throughout this journey. I'd like to thank my coaches who got me here, Coach Steve, who's here with us today, and Coach Amy Shear, who couldn't join us, but I'm sure she would have loved to come if she could have made it. I want to give a huge thanks to Perfect North for giving me a place to grow up to ski and for supporting me throughout everything. And I want to give a huge thank you to you guys for coming out and, you know, having fun at this event with me. So thank you guys.
I think you heard how excited they are, Connor, to have you back with us, to welcome you home with your gold medal. But before we get on, we got some folks that want to present a couple of things to you. But the first person I want to help introduce is our state representative, Curran Brownlee, who has a little proclamation to share with you.
That's great. You
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Sharonville, for having me. This is an amazing reason to celebrate tonight, and I'm really excited to be here with you. I promise I won't talk too long, because I think, and I don't know that you guys have the photo, but I just want to say that the photo of you hanging upside down in the air is about the most inspiring thing I have seen all year.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome. I couldn't do it. Raise your hand if you could do that. Yeah, that's what I thought. So anyway, I'm so excited. I love representing for Sharonville, and I love being here. I want to commend you. I'm not going to read the whole resolution, but I want to commend you on your excellence in the sport and your contribution back to winter sports. It's really incredible. I love that you shout out Sharonville. I love that you shout out Perfect North, because those are our hometown favorites. And you have earned a place in the Ohio state law. You have a resolution just for Connor Curran, honoring Connor Curran as a 2026 Olympic gold medalist. This also honors just your participation, because just getting to the Olympics is an incredible feat, right? And so on behalf of the entire Ohio State House, this is a resolution from the 136th General Assembly of Ohio. In adopting this resolution, congratulating Connor Curran in his Olympic gold medal, and we extend our best wishes for continued success. I mean, we know you're going to go far up in the air again. So, congratulations. And this is for you. Can we get a picture? Yeah. Can we get you in here for a quick photo? Just come right here. All right, that's it. So you're in the history books.
I guess.
All right, congrats.
Thank you, Karen. For you. I know we've got a couple other folks that, I was talking to your family before you came in, and I said, I need a really good, embarrassing story about Connor that I can share with all these group of wonderful friends. You know what they said? They have no embarrassing stories about you. If it was Carson, it would be another story. But you, no embarrassing stories. But our next couple of guests we want to welcome up, I bet they have some stories. So we're going to give them a chance to come up to the podium. So I'm going to invite up your old trampoline and tumbling coach, Steve Anderson, is with us. Steve. This we want to go. I'll go. All right.
Connor was an athlete at Kids First Queen City Trampoline and Tumbling under me. And back in the day when he was much shorter, as you could see in the blue uniform when he pops up. But I guess, how could I embarrass Connor today? I could say that for all you boys that are out there that have excess boy energy, and let me tell you, you all do. But the trick is being able to take that boy energy and channel it into, harness that energy into greatness. And Connor did that. And I cannot say, John Collier was pretty good, but he'll give you a run for it. But Connor exemplified that at Queen City. Is Kids First, one of their mottos that if you've ever read their literature, is that it's kids first, sports second. Sure, we want to win. There's no doubt about that, and we'll do everything we can, because the program was steeped pretty much in a favorite quote from Abraham Lincoln that I know, and it's called, "If I had 7 hours to chop down a tree, I'd spend 4 hours sharpening the axe." And that's what we did at Kids First. We sharpened and sharpened and sharpened. And the air sense that he developed on trampoline transferred right nicely into putting on a ski and learning how to take off the ramp. But more importantly, he learned the discipline of form first, difficulty second. So I just want to say that I'm extremely proud to be able to be up here and speak for Connor. And probably thought I was kind of tough sometimes, but I'd already been to the top in what was trampoline and tumbling sport. I had personally been on the World Championship for the New Zealand escapade back in the day. So I'd already been there, so I didn't need to relive it through my athletes. And I also wanted to say something about not only was Connor, was his hard work and tenacity and just staying with it for the long haul, but I can't miss saying something about the parents. I've had several top athletes at very high level in trampoline over the years, and even, in tumbling as well. We had several national champions. We had 13 team state championships at Queen City in trampoline and tumbling. Not the gymnastics, it's a different, it was a different sport. But through all of that, some of the common threads that I saw were the parents that had the least amount of control, but the greater influence. And when Connor first came to me, I was reticent in the beginning because of, I wanted to be able to coach skill, not manage the the excess energy. And the main reason why Connor made the team was the support of his parents. They understood, what I was concerned about, because trampoline is it could be a dangerous sport. If you don't teach it in quarters and are very mindful about every little step being sequential, you could really get yourself hurt, because in that sport, you're not going to get up there, just like aerial, and you're not going to spot somebody 30 feet, 25 feet in the air. You have to be able to teach it in sections, on the ground, before you take it onto the trampoline and then take it in the air. But I guess what I was getting at is that the common denominator among the parents was their willingness to support the coach, even in decisions that they didn't agree with, that were made. And my top athletes almost always, and sometimes they weren't the best ones, because hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work. But some of the best athletes all had the common thread of a supportive parent that bit their lip even if they didn't like decisions that were made, and they went with the program. And John and Carrie, they went with the program, and their commitment financially, showing up and being involved in the kids' sport, letting them own their successes and their failures, letting them own it. Not the coach, not the parents, but they own their successes and their failures. And that is, in today's world, could be missing if the parents don't learn to let go and trust their training. But I appreciate you as parents, because they always channeled their energy properly, and that was through volunteering. I always had numerous roles for parents to volunteer for, so that they can feel like they can model. There's not very many places that you go to where you get the opportunity to actual model collaboration and teamwork for your kids. And for them to see that play out among the parents, hosting a meet, and Carrie or John working the meet as set up, tear down chairpersons, or picture day volunteer, things like that. They put themselves in a position where they volunteered, and they supported their athlete properly. And they didn't take the sport away from Connor. They let it be his sport. And thank you for letting me speak today. He's an on-purpose person.
We also have from Perfect North, their general manager, Tim Dahl, is here. Tim, here it comes.
See you again. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tim, and I am honored to be here tonight on behalf of Perfect North Slopes, one small part of a really awesome team back home that I know, Connor, you're really familiar with. We were so pumped to see you this past Sunday. Connor came out for our spring carnival at the end of the season, spent 2 hours shaking hands, taking pictures, signing autographs with all the kids, and it was a really, really special day. And Connor, I can't even begin to tell you how incredibly proud we are of not only the way you represent yourself, the way you represent Sharonville, the way you represent your family, the way you represent the ski industry. And we're just super pumped. Aren't we really impressed with Connor's accomplishments? You know, Perfect North Slopes comes from really humble beginnings 46 years ago from a family farm where we believed in ourselves, reinvested in ourselves, doubled down on our efforts, and really kept pushing forward. And Connor, I think your story is very similar, right? You got to find that passion early on, believe in yourself, double down. From the age of 2, skiing between John's legs when John was a ski instructor, and just making laps out there on the snow. Find a passion, pursue it. Any one of us can accomplish great things when we really focus on achieving that dream. And Connor, I'm so excited for your accomplishments, but I'm really more impressed and excited about the opportunity you have to inspire the next generation. And we want to make sure that you're doing that back home at Perfect North Slope. So I brought a special gift for you this evening.
Oh, no way. Oh, shit.
We want to make sure that you have every opportunity to get back out on the snow to inspire the next generation with a lifetime season pass at Perfect North Slopes. Yeah, absolutely. And step off. You got it.
We'll get there. You would think, yeah.
Connor, we want to make sure that you're spending plenty of time out on the snow, inspire the next generation. Thanks for all you do, surrounding yourself with people who believe in you, giving back to your community, making time to be here in Sharonville. Don't forget about us over at Perfect North Slopes in Indiana. Great to be with you guys tonight. Congratulations, man.
All right, Connor, why don't you grab that microphone off that stand right there. Come on over, grab a seat. We'll let you sit down for a little bit here. Like I said, I think I told you a little bit earlier, we had some of the young folks out there wrote a couple of questions. I'm going to share those for a little bit, but we thought we'd take a little bit of time here tonight just to do a little bit of a question and answer, things that might be on people's minds about your Olympic journey, about what it's like to represent the United States, the city of Sharonville. You've heard and you can see out here, man, you've got a lot of support here in your hometown, here in Sharonville. I know that there's some crazy cat lady. I know her well. She's my wife, who got a cat named after you at a local cat shelter. So while you're over it's true. There's a Curran at the Hart Animal Refuge named after Connor to help support him in his gold medal pursuit. But when you're over there in Italy, when you're skiing for the United States, were you aware of all this groundswell of support here at home, and how did that impact you and your journey and what you were doing out there?
Yeah, I was aware of some support. I just don't think I knew the size of the support. But yeah, it's been amazing, and can't thank you guys enough for coming and supporting me throughout the games. So thank you guys.
So you know what? One of the things I want to know is kind of what's the day in the life of an Olympic contender? How does your day start? How does it end? What goes on between those periods of time during the day that gets you ready to be able to compete at this high level of your sport?
Yeah, well, I wake up like everyone else, and then after that I eat breakfast, get ready to go jump.
Real light breakfast. It's probably like toast and
super light.
Berries.
Yep.
Really? All right.
Yeah, super light before I have to jump. I jump 2 to 4 hours a day, sometimes more because of my job involves jumping. So 2 to 4 hours there, and then another 3 in the gym.
So how many jumps do you think you're doing on a given day? I mean, 2 to 4 hours is one thing, but how many times are you going off that slope and spinning around in the air?
The number varies. The average is anywhere from 8 to 12 jumps a day. If you have more than one chance to do jumps, then you can get close to 20.
And how high are you in the air here? Because, I mean, it's hard for us when we're watching it on TV. It's hard to get a good idea of how high you actually are. How high are you in the air?
It varies jump to jump, but I think the average is probably around 50 feet.
So 5 stories in the air. I assume that in your years of training, it hasn't always ended as well as you would hope it would, right?
Nope.
What's the, Carrie, hold your ears. You might not want to hear it, but what's the worst injury that you've occurred in all of your training from one of all your training, or maybe even at a competition?
The worst injuries I've had would be those involving the brain, so like concussions. Broke my knee, both my feet. I've had multiple ribs come out of place, holes in the lung.
So what makes it
Constant back pain.
So what makes it worth it to you? What is it about this sport that drew you to it, that keeps you going at it, to put your life on the line as you're 50 feet in the air? What is it what inspires you to do that?
I just think it's really fun, honestly. That's the best answer I can give. It's just a whole bunch of fun.
So, we knew, as a lot of us were here, as you know, we were here watching you, waiting for those big first jumps for you to qualify for your individual competition. And it was a bit of a delay, multiple days, right? What is that like? How did you stay focused as you're it was like 3 days late, right? Before you actually got to compete. What is that like? How did you continue to focus and keep yourself sharp so that you'd be able to make a successful jump?
Yeah, the delay definitely sucked, to say the least. We train 3 days before the event, and those 3 training days are crucial to how well you jump in the event. So to have one of those days postponed and then the comp postponed, they gave us like 4 days off, and that's not what you want going into a competition at all.
But it worked out for you, though, right?
Yeah.
Let's watch it. Here it is. This is Connor's first jump at the Olympics in his qualifications for the individual event.
It's the reverse order. So USA gets to look at what everyone else is doing, maybe perhaps adjust their strategy. The 21-year-old in his Olympic debut, hoping to get a medal in mixed team aerials.
Just a beautiful jump in the previous round.
That looks solid. Connor Curran delivers for Team USA.
Oh, Team USA looks like they are having fun. Because guess what's fun? Landing big jumps. But they don't get to compete together as a team very often.
That was actually
moving into the top spot by
medal.
Nearly 25 points. Team USA, 2:08.
So that was a different jump than one I introduced. I know. So that was your gold medal jump, right? That's the one that won you your gold medal in your mixed aerials competition. Do we have the other one? Do we have the second clip, which is his first jump to qualify him in the individual?
Here's Connor Curran from Ohio, 21 years old in his Olympic debut.
Special shout out to the people in Sharonville watching, a suburb of Cincinnati.
On course, going off the big jump.
Full twist, full twist.
Oh, that is a beautiful jump. Nailed it. Connor Curran throwing it down in his Olympic debut. That's how you get the judges' attention right there.
Curran had wonderful amplitude, and air, which is your takeoff and the height that you go, is 20% of your score. It's a product of the speed the athletes have coming in and how strong you are on the end of the jump. That was beautifully long, lean, and tight in the air. Really crisp, and then wrapping it up for a double rotation in the middle flip. And stayed straight all the way to the end. He piked down for the landing, but you're allowed to do so if you do that with the last 45 degrees of the flip. So you stay straight as long as possible.
5 judges total. 20% for the takeoff in air, 50% for the form throughout the trick. Beautiful form he had there, Hannah, and then 30% of the score earned by the landing. His teammates and friends are pumped, as they should be.
That was the CEO of the U.S. ski and snowboard team that they're watching men's qualification, cheering on
That's
our
Sophie?
athletes. Sophie was there.
There you go.
Tell us about that jump, Connor.
Moves into the top spot with a big score at that.
What are we watching there? What are all those tricks you're doing? How long did it take you to kind of learn those things? And what's the next step? Where are you going from here?
Yeah, so that jump was a quadruple twisting triple backflip. Took me about 10 years to learn that one.
Did you know, I mean, obviously that was your personal best ever score at the Olympics. I mean, that's awesome in and of itself. Did you expect you were going to get that kind of result as you are in the air and landing that particular trick, that particular jump?
Yeah, I knew it was good in the air, but the landing, as you can imagine, can kind of, you do a good jump, you don't land it, it's not a good jump. So you never know until you put your feet on the ground.
So obviously what's interesting about this competition is it's a very individual one. It has to do with what you're doing. You have team members, folks that you work with, you train with as well, with the Team USA, correct? When you went to Italy, you didn't know whether or not you were going to be in that mixed aerials event. Is that right?
I did not know.
What is it? And was there a point where you kind of came to realize, yeah, I'm going to be in this team of three that is going to compete again for a gold medal in representing the United States? Where was that point? When did you find that out?
About 12 hours before the comp was when I found out that I was going to be in it.
And so mindset-wise, as you were going into that competition with teammates, so you had Chris Lillis and Kayla Kuhn, right? So how long have you known Chris and Kayla? Have you known them for a while?
Half my life. Like, I've known Chris since I was 10, 11 years old, and Kayla's the same. Known them for a really long time, and we're all really good friends, so that definitely helps.
Is there a different amount of pressure that's on you as you go into a competition like that with teammates than your own individual competition? Tell us a little bit about how you're feeling when you go into that.
Yeah, definitely more pressure because you're not just jumping for yourself, you're jumping for your teammates, and it's really important to feed off each other and respect each other. And I mean, I jump with them every day, all day, so I know how each of them jumps, and I knew I was in a pretty good spot.
And I don't remember if it was after your jump or after which jump it was, but I remember watching Chris, your teammate Chris Lillis, just grab you in his arms and lift you up on the ground. How did that feel as you guys were celebrating the accomplishments that you guys had there in Lavinia?
Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah, as soon as we found out we won, he came and picked me up, and I think I'm a little heavier than Chris Lillis might have thought, so he was struggling a little bit, but yeah, that was amazing.
So I know I personally, whenever I'm watching Olympic ceremonies, I myself get a little choked up every time I watch one of our Olympic athletes standing on the gold medal podium with their gold medals, watching that American flag rise up in the air, hearing the national anthem play. What was that like, Connor? What was it like to be standing there with your teammates, gold medal in hand, listening to that national anthem and that moment of your Olympic career?
Yeah, that was surreal. I kept pinching myself, making sure I was awake and not dreaming. But that's definitely the icing on the cake, is getting to hear the national anthem play and your flag being raised. I don't think there's a bigger honor than that.
That's awesome. I know, like I said, got a couple of questions that a couple of young folks have these are their questions, they're not mine, so you can't blame me for them, all right? Aiden, where are you? Aiden Renner, 11 years old, stand up and wave, there he is. Aiden wants to know, what was it like growing up in Sharonville?
It was amazing. It was amazing. This place is the best. To run around all day, play sports, hang out with your friends, it's the best.
So I understand that you were a counselor at Camp Sharonville. Well, not a counselor, you were a resident
that was
of Camp.
Fuzz.
You were one of the Camp Sharonville attendees when you were younger, right? The brother is currently a counselor. But, one of our recreation director wants to know, if you were a camp counselor, what would have been your camp counselor nickname if you were a Camp Sharonville counselor?
Probably either Con Air or Iceman.
There you go.
One or the other. I don't know.
All right, this doesn't look like a kid's handwriting, but where's Tim? Where's Tim? Tim's over here. Tim wants to know, when will you do a hurricane? I have no idea what a hurricane is, so you got to tell us what that is and tell us if you're going to do one. I assume it's a trick, right?
Yep. Yeah, so that's a quintuple twisting, triple backflip. Only 3 people in the world have ever done that trick, ever. But, I mean, it's down the road in the future at some point. Got to at least try it.
I got to have a goal, right? Where is 6-year-old is it Caroline? Where are you? Caroline, stand up. Up right there. There she is. She wants to know, do you get dizzy after you do your flips?
Yes, very dizzy sometimes, especially when I don't land on my feet.
Emmy, age 8. Where's Emmy? Emmy's right here. She wants to know, well, she says sometimes she gets scared and cries. Does that happen to you?
Yes. I think everyone gets scared at, you know, you don't have to be doing my sport to be scared. That'll scare you enough. The best piece of advice I can give is to face it. It will always help you to face your fears and to overcome.
See, 5-year-old Oscar, where are you, Oscar? Oscar's somewhere. He's over there. Okay. Oscar wants to know if you ski backward.
Not on purpose. I don't try to ski backwards on purpose, but I can, just in case.
Penelope, where's age 6 Penelope? There she is. Penelope wants to know your favorite color.
That's a good question. Probably red. Red's a good color. Oh,
White,
there you go.
Red,
there you
white,
go. That's
and
awesome.
blue, right? Yeah, where's Louie? 4-year-old Louie is somewhere out there. There he is. And he wants to know, how did you get so strong?
Lots of hours in the gym and practicing my sport, I would say, is how I got so strong.
We got 11-year-old Aiden. Where's Aiden? Aiden wants to know, when you were training, did you ever feel like you wanted to quit?
Yes, I felt like I've wanted to drop everything and go home. But, you know, I wouldn't be here today if I quit. So always stick with it even when it gets hard.
9-year-old Alder, where are you, Alder? He wants to know, what's your favorite book?
Ooh, that's a good question. That's a good question. I'm gonna need to think about this one.
All right, well, let him think about it. Maybe we'll come back to it. And August, where's 7-year-old August? August wants to know, what does it feel like to be an Olympian?
It feels amazing to be an Olympian. I've worked my whole life for this, and it's a dream come true.
Let's hear it for him. That's awesome. Where is 6-year-old Vivian? Vivian, come up here. Vivian didn't really ask a question, so I'm going to let Vivian tell you what it is she wanted you to know. Vivian, you want to tell him? You want to tell Connor what do you want? Come up here. All right, come right here. Tell Connor what it is you want him to know.
I love your skating.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vivian. Be careful. Connor, I think it's very clear by this room here tonight, the folks that have been here, how excited we are here at the city of Sharonville to be able to honor you, to have you as a hometown athlete, for you to have accomplished what you've accomplished, to be able to come back home here with a gold medal is amazing. We are so looking forward to where you're going to be. I have one more question before we kind of go to some other honors. So, Connor, where do you see yourself in 4 years?
In France, representing you guys at the next Olympics.
And winning his second, third gold medal, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right, Connor, why don't you come on up here for me? We got one surprise before we wrap up our festivities here this evening. So we are really looking forward to you coming back to Sharonville, always visiting. You got great family and friends here to always have you here. So the next time you come to Sharonville, as you're driving down Cornell Road, coming from one of our neighbors to the east, making your way back into the great city of Sharonville, this is what will be welcoming you to Sharonville.
That's amazing.
All right, so as our final kind of presentation, I've got this little piece of information here. As mayor, I get the pleasure of doing this, but I know we've got lots of great folks, elected officials from Sharonville who are here, who are just as excited by your accomplishments. We're glad that they could join us as well this evening. But I get the honor of doing this because that's my position. So, whereas Connor, at age 7, while on a family vacation at Utah Olympic Park, jumped off the single water ramp on skis and resurfaced to say he wanted to figure out how to jump off the triple. And whereas upon his return to Cincinnati, Connor joined the ski racing team at Perfect North Slopes and competed with the Queen City trampoline and tumbling team, winning 2 national championship titles, 1 in trampoline and 1 in tumbling, all the while traveling on and off weekends to aerial camps and competitions. And whereas Connor, at age 13, made the elite aerial development program and moved to the Olympic Training Center in Lake Placid, New York, to train full-time, and later moved to Park City, Utah, to train with Park City ski and snowboard while in high school. And whereas Connor has earned 4 junior world championship podiums, was named to the U.S. ski team in 2023, becoming the youngest member of the aerial team, won the silver medal at the Deer Valley World Cup his first season, earned the Rookie of the Year award, and is a reigning U.S. national champion. And whereas Connor, a proud resident of Sharonville, represented the United States of America at the 2026 Milano Cortina Winter Olympic Games in men's aerials and mixed team aerials events, qualified for men's aerials finals in 1 jump, with a personal best score in a qualifying round, ultimately finishing 12th place, and the next day won a gold medal in mixed team aerials. It is my pleasure, Connor, my absolute pleasure, as the mayor of the city of Sharonville, to congratulate you on your years of hard work, your years of dedication, and proclaim today, Friday, March 13th, 2026, as Olympic gold medalist Connor Curran Day in the city of Sharonville. Let's go, everybody. Get up on your feet.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, so Connor's making his way to the back. We had 25 lucky folks who were chosen to get a little special meeting with Connor here as we wrap up our evening. So if you are one of those 25 folks, we're gonna gather up. You see this line of folks along the line here. So if you were one of those 25 folks who were notified, chosen at random to see Connor and his gold medal, head on over there to the side, and they will make your way out. After we watch them depart, you are all welcome to kind of linger around, enjoy some time here. We've got some inflatables down in the new gym if you want to hang around and play. There is a wonderful little photo opportunity also down that way by the new gym. If you want to get a little picture with you and all of those who are in attendance, this is your opportunity to do so. So, Sharonville, thanks for coming out. Thanks for celebrating Connor Curran. What a great day it is to be a Sharonville, and everybody. Thanks for coming.